You're watching a special exclusive broadcast of Reality Check. Now, at a time when the economy is under strain, all eyes are on the fate of Yes Bank, India's fifth largest bank, now beset by scandal and uncertainty after the RBI put a cap on withdrawing deposits. Can Yes Bank be saved? The State Bank of India believes it can. India's biggest bank this weekend announced that they will be the lead investor in an attempted turnaround of Yes Bank. But will they be able to pull it off? Who better to answer that than Chairman and Managing Director of State Bank of India, Rajnish Kumar, is joining me exclusively on Reality Check. Thank you very much indeed, Rajnish Kumarji, for joining us. Now, State Bank once again to the rescue.
Yeah, good evening, Srinivas.
Good evening, good evening. As you can imagine, the first thought that went through many minds when they found that it is indeed State Bank that is going to come to the rescue was the fact that you had been asked or directed by who else other than the government to rescue Yes Bank. How do you respond?
So, one is that at least I haven't received, and maybe you people would not believe it,
Yes.
but I have not received any direction from the government directly.
Okay.
So, you believe it or not, but yes, we are closely working with Reserve Bank of India for sure.
No, you didn't
And
receive
the State Bank of India is the largest bank in the country.
Yes. You didn't receive a direction
So, the way to
directly.
understand
Did
is
you
that-
receive a, was there any indirect nudge from the government?
No, indirectly, if I have to take a decision like investment in a non-core activity, let us put it, there are certain restrictions on us about the no objection certificate from the government.
Right.
So, obviously, there is a process that I will have to follow.
Yes.
But at the same time, this is something in which the stability of the financial system is the responsibility of Reserve Bank of India.
So
Right?
there was.
And obviously, of course, even Reserve Bank of India have to act.
Yes.
They need to consult as per the process and as per the law. Government of India.
So there was no
And
pressure on you.
State Bank of India being the largest bank in the country and part of the financial system.
Yeah.
Just 1 second.
Yes.
Let me set the background right.
Okay.
If
Go ahead.
State Bank of India,
Yeah.
which is the largest bank in the country, so definitely if there is a problem and in the larger interest of the stability of the financial system and the banking system, and for a bank which is fourth largest private sector bank,
Yes.
then obviously if their efforts to raise the capital over last 1 year
Yeah.
have not fructified and the bank needs capital, and if entry of State Bank of India facilitates that, so where is the issue?
No. Issue in the sense, look, it's a very heartening thing. I mean, if you're doing it as an act of public good, Rajnish Kumarji, no one will question it. But the question arises that if the government did not ask you to do it, direct you or put pressure, how did you come to this point where you felt you had to bail out or you had to lead the rescue efforts at Yes Bank? Did it struck you on your own, or how did you arrive at this point?
No, again, I think we are coming to the same question. One is, when we talk about public good, so government is also there for the public good.
Right.
And many of these decisions, and
Right.
when there is a problem, and let us admit, it is not a small problem.
Yeah.
It is a question of the fourth largest bank,
Yes.
and its survival is very, very crucial to the stability of the financial system.
Yeah.
So, in such a scenario, I don't think anybody would act solely. It is not State Bank of India which can act solely.
Okay.
It is not Reserve Bank of India which can act solely.
Right.
It is not even Government of India which can act solely. So, when there is a situation, what do you do? Whenever there is a problem,
Right.
one way is that you are very adventurous and say, okay, I don't need anybody, I will resolve. Or if the problem is big, then what do you look for?
Okay,
that,
interesting.
We will have to do it collectively.
Okay, you're saying
so I
collectively.
am part of that collective effort.
Okay, that's interesting. You're saying collective effort, RBI, government, State Bank of India, in a sense, all coming together. But what will you say to one view,
Yes.
what will you say to one criticism that this is public money which is being used to bail out essentially a scandal or a malpractice or a failure of a private sector bank?
No, one is that any malpractice or anything, whatever may have been done by the promoters or whoever was responsible, that is a separate issue. But what we have to realize that, and just I would like to remind some of your viewers also, because this is a big debate.
Yes.
In 1930,
Yes.
do you know that what triggered the longest depression in US? It was failure of a very small Israeli bank in New York.
Okay.
So we have to realize when we talk about the public good, public money,
Yeah.
that whether it is wastage. So what is the argument about the public money? So is it the case that Yes Bank should be allowed to fail, or for that matter any bank should be allowed to fail?
Okay.
So what is the argument about this public money?
Okay. Okay. I see.
So
I
ultimately,
I
yes,
see what you're saying.
this if you take a very Puritan view,
Yeah.
just listen.
Yes.
Srinivas.
Yes.
So if we take a very Puritan view, yes, a private sector entity, they work in capitalism. It is survival of the fittest.
Okay.
And if they cannot function, and if they are not successful, they should be allowed to die.
Right.
That is what the basis on which the entire capitalism works.
Okay.
Survival of the fittest. But the banks who are part of the financial system, they are
Right.
treated differently. 2008, US took its chance. Lehman was allowed to fail, and then they realized what are the consequences. And then what happened? A $2 trillion TARP program
Yes.
within 48 hours.
Yes.
And let us not believe that US law or the process is very simple or simpler than
Okay,
any
so
other
you're
country.
saying,
what my understanding is
Sir,
that
sir,
it is more
point made.
complex than anybody else.
no, okay.
So if they can put 48,
Rajnish ji,
Yeah.
point made. You're saying the US did the TARP, which is the Troubled Asset Relief Program. The government stepped in to bail out private lenders. So why make a big deal about, trying to also bail out a Yes Bank? But the question is, the concern here, the question is that couple of questions. Firstly, if you were to just explain to the armed depositor, who is the biggest person affected by this, that is this rescue going to be sufficient? Because you said that you're initially going to invest 2,500 crores to pick up 49% stake, up to 49% stake. But Yes Bank's deposits are in the region of 2 lakh crore. That is also how much approximately that they have lent. Now 2,500 crore, 2 lakh crore. How does this work? Is this going to be enough? I mean, how are depositors going to get their money?
I am happy that you have raised this. No.
Yeah.
I think there is some misunderstanding around this.
Okay.
It is again in public knowledge that the capitalization or recapitalization of Yes Bank, that is to the order of 20 to 22,000 crore rupees.
Okay.
And where from this 2,450 crore figure came in,
Yes.
that immediately in first stage, if SBI has to step in and acquire 49%,
Okay.
then we can't acquire more than 245 crore share.
Right.
But that scenario has changed now because lot of co-investors have stepped in and willing to put in the money.
They have.
So our commitment, they have.
Okay.
And it is being worked out, and
Okay.
very soon all the details will be available. But 2,450 was on the basis that outstanding share capital of Yes Bank was 255 crore.
Right.
So we could have just made a commitment of 2,450 crore and take 49% stake.
Right.
But that scenario has changed and there are many willing co-investors who are willing to join.
Okay.
And then depending upon that, how much money can be put in very quickly.
Yes.
And within that, the option for State Bank of India is to be anywhere between 26 to 49%. So
Okay.
first doubt which needs to be cleared is that it is not 2,450 crore. It is recapitalization of 20 to 22,000 crore.
So by
which will ensure that Yes Bank has just 1 second
Yeah.
and that I will. So that would ensure that despite all the losses which they have to take in their book,
yeah.
it will be meeting the capital ratio of the regulatory capital ratio. So
Okay.
that is the first
So
ratio which determines the solvency of the
okay, so
any
they'll
bank.
be able to meet the banking standards, that is the capital ratio as in the technical term. But in simple terms, because you seem to be hopeful that you can actually turn things around with these investors coming in and all of that it's not a kind of lost cause. So then by when do you hope that things will go back to normal? When will the moratorium be lifted on the deposits?
It is there is a certain process. There is
Yeah.
a certain process for lifting the moratorium, bringing in new capital.
Yes,
but let me tell
approximately.
you, as I said,
But
that
approximate
it is a
time.
collective effort. No, I think it could. The effort is that do it within a week or less than that.
Oh, within a week or less than that?
Yeah, within a week. Let me put it this way. But
Okay.
ultimately, this call, I said this is the effort. In this effort, whatever State Bank has to do, whatever is their role, we will be able to complete that role.
No,
Then
that's
there is a
very
process between
reassuring.
government, Reserve Bank of India.
That's very reassuring.
Absolutely. So
Rajnish
nobody
ji,
is
but tell me
keeping this
something.
moratorium till 3rd April.
Yeah. So
Yes.
if you're saying that within a week, and we should flash this actually, that even as early as within a week, the moratorium could be lifted and people could withdraw as much as they want. But aren't you worried that that may lead to a lot of people withdrawing deposits? I mean, it could effectively become almost like a run on the bank.
No, I don't think so. There are, again, if a State Bank has stepped in, so I am very confident that the depositors will keep this fact into consideration, that even if we are anywhere in terms of equity between 26 to 49%, but the precise reason for the State Bank is standing behind Yes Bank is to give that comfort to the depositors that they don't have to worry.
Okay.
So Yes Bank, their own teams will reach out. If required, we will reach out to their corporate customers. I don't mind doing that. But I want to assure the customers of Yes Bank,
Yes.
whether retail or corporate,
Yes.
that once we step in,
Yes.
then they should not worry at all about their money, and it should be business as usual.
Okay.
There is a temporary difficulty because of this moratorium.
Okay.
But our effort is that as soon as government, RBI, they are able to complete their process and lift the moratorium, we will go extra mile to give comfort to all depositors
Okay.
of Yes
So you're
Bank
hopeful.
that
Right.
they
Rajnish
are
ji.
as safe.
Okay, so you're saying you will give, you will reach out, you will reassure depositors that their money is safe. They shouldn't withdraw it all in one go. You're hoping that won't lead to a run in the bank. But Rajnish ji, the question is that are you fully cognizant of the scale of the problem? Because there's a concern that there is a lot of hidden risk within Yes Bank, which is only starting to come out. So just as a kind of overall question, if I can ask you, what is your assessment of the percentage or the proportion of bad debt or NPAs that Yes Bank has currently?
So one is that the way to view again is that their capital and their AT1 capital all taken together is around 37,000 crore. So they absorb the losses. Already bank is sitting on a provision of, I think, around 8,000 crore. So the belief amongst all the investors is that if 45,000 crore is what the LGD is, it is, I think, leaving even some cushion that the loss may not be that much.
Okay.
But presuming that everybody is looking at that the LGD is 45,000 crore, in my view, if we take that kind of loss given default,
LGD?
after that, there is very minimal possibility.
No,
LGD is loss given default means all NPAs, you recover part of it and rest all you have to write off.
Right.
So if the loss is on account of the loan book, bad loan book is 45,000 crore in a worst case scenario,
Yeah.
then the new capital which is coming in,
Yes.
it is largely protected. I'm not saying 100% protected because as you have said that like there may still be something left.
Yeah.
But the general assessment is that with this kind of loss being accounted for,
Yeah.
then the new capital, it is sufficiently protected
But are
from
you
any past losses.
But is that estimate, Rajnish ji, is that estimate realistic? Because, you know, every day, as I said, some new skeleton is coming out of the closet. As we speak today, there are multiple raids that are being carried out on the Rana Kapoor family and their establishment. Now they're saying that there was a fraudulent dealing with DHFL and some 3,500 crore quote-unquote scam is what the CBI is alleging. This has now just come out.
So,
So-
like, in any case, it is about another entity. So I can't go into all the details.
Yes.
We should wait for 14th March, their P&L also.
Yes.
And then 31st March we have, and banks they have to give extensive disclosures in their balance sheet. I have only shared the information which is generally available in public domain and what is being talked about.
No, I'm saying.
All the investors, so we are not alone.
I know, but-
They believe
Yeah.
that whatever is the estimate is good enough. The process of ED or CBI, that is a separate process, and if at all that process is about anything, all the names you are mentioning,
Yes.
they would be appearing in this loss list.
No, but I'm only saying this, that even from the level of optics, that trying to get investors, trying to revive a bank whose promoter, you could say former promoter, is being booked with a fresh case of fraud every day. How does that work? I mean, how easy is it to go on saying we'll insulate the
So
promoter
you take
from the
action
bank?
against the promoter, whatever wrong he has committed. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, you take the action against the promoter, but that does not mean you close the State Bank, Yes Bank down. So there are employees, there is a retail franchise, there are 1,200 odd branches.
Yeah.
So the promoter and enterprise has to be dealing, that I have always maintained. So if a promoter has done something wrong, then they will pay price for that. But why would the entity suffer?
Why was the plan to have you invest up to 49% as opposed to merging outright, which many suggest would have been a much more reassuring step to take?
No, I don't think that is the right way. In fact, merger would have been, from the value creation perspective, it would have been negative for the State Bank of India. Then what is being proposed? It is the logic and the rationale, as I explained earlier also, that there were investors who were waiting to invest in Yes Bank, but they were not able to gather the courage. And then when SBI, it was decided that we would be co-investor, and that is where the investment or the required investment in the bank, that has become much easier.
But sir, tell me, I mean, at the end of the day, because this is not the first financial institution which has fallen into trouble, we know that. There's been ILFS, then now DHFL and now Yes Bank. What is going wrong? Why where do you think the system is at fault that warnings are not being read? Because Yes Bank's troubles, as you know, are not new. Right from last year, the bank has started to post losses. It was concealing its NPAs, which have started to come out. And yet it is only now that finally there's been a takeover. So who's at fault here?
No, I don't think that we are on a fault-finding mission at this stage, or that is the objective of this discussion. The objective of this discussion is to first to assure the depositors of Yes Bank, as well as all other banks in the country, that by and large the financial system is sound in the country. There were certain reasons around corporate banking and infrastructure financing as well as the governance, which led to trouble in some of the institutions. The response of the government and authorities also in each case has been different. So in ILF's case, which was an NBFC, government took action under section 242 of the Companies Act. So that was one remedy. In case of housing finance company, they took action under section 227 and an administrator was appointed and some sort of NCLT like process is going on. In the case of the bank, Reserve Bank of India, under section 45 of the Banking Regulation Act, they have all the powers. And they have now exercised those powers. In case of another small NBFC, without administration,
but sir, the question
without
is,
anything from government, the lenders themselves were able to sell it.
No, but sir, the question is not that there was action not being taken, but is action being taken too late? For example, as early as 2019, new management was appointed to Yes Bank. There was a RBI appointed former deputy governor on the board. But Yes Bank's lending continues to be off the charts. Between 2014 to 19, its lending has gone up by 330%, from 56,000 crores to 2.4 lakh crores. Why wasn't this being checked?
As I said that let us not go into that, and I am not the person to answer every such question. And whatever are the facts, but after 2019, when the new management came in fact, Ravneet Gill took charge of Yes Bank February last year. So I think what I have understood that it was as the instance of RBI, they refused to renew the contract of Rana Kapoor, say for example. So RBI took action. What do you do if there is a situation and you find that some action is warranted? The first step is they decided to remove Rana Kapoor. The new person came in, then the capital raising plan was going on. It is also on in the media. That did not work out.
So you are saying that all steps are being taken?
So whenever you take action, if you are taken, no. What I am saying is that if Reserve Bank of India, I am just just putting a point that if Reserve Bank of India suppose had taken this action in June, then what would be the argument on the television channels? That they have acted very hastily. So I don't know. Whatever you do, you will have one conclusion.
In conclusion, they are saying that the main thing you want to send the message is to the depositors that their money is safe, that the money is safe, that you can perhaps expect to have the moratorium on withdrawals lifted even as early as next week, which means you can take out your money to whatever extent you want it. But you're saying that an effort will be made to reassure them that their money is safe and that there's no need to panic and to start pulling out all your money and transferring it elsewhere. That's the key thing.
Absolutely, because the purpose of the moratorium itself was that to depositors money has to be protected, and that's why RBI takes these extreme steps. And once this restructuring of the Yes Bank and the capital restructuring has been done, a new professional board, a new management team is in, and then I am very sure that all the depositors of Yes Bank, they will continue to have faith. It may be a You can treat it as a bad nightmare for 10-15 days.
Okay.
And our effort would be that now having taken this call, normalize the situation for Yes Bank customers and depositors as quickly as possible.
That's wonderful. I just want to ask you my very last question, that overall though, because we've often spoken about the economy as a whole, and in a sense Yes Bank and what it's going through is a symptom of that, that overall are you anxious about the overall state of the economy, because it was already, things were already a little bit fragile, and now you've got this whole coronavirus problem as well?
Yeah, these are all unknowns, and again, nobody knew coronavirus 3 months ago.
Right.
But now globally it is impacting every country. So you are part of a global system, you can't help it, only you can fight it.
Okay. Well, let's hope that at least that's a temporary glitch in the system.
Okay,
but,
thank you.
Thank you very much, Rajnish Kumar ji, and all the very best with your attempts to try and turn Yes Bank around. Thank you very much indeed for talking to us.